Welcome back to my channel. It is fall, which means we are going full force with the pumpkin recipes. And today we are making some pumpkin bread. So this is delicious. It's paleo, no dairy, gluten, greens, but it tastes so good and is so moist and delicious. Perfect with a cup of coffee or a latte. Plus it's freezer friendly too. I just slice it up and then I keep it in the freezer, pop one out whenever I want it. So good. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe and let's go ahead and make some pumpkin bread. So to make the pumpkin bread, of course, you're going to need some pumpkin, and pumpkin is great for you. It's loaded with carotenoids, which are good for your immune system, and fiber for your gut. Some almond butter, but you can definitely use any kind of nut or seed butter here. Adds some great healthy fats and helps keep it moist. Some vanilla, as well as 3 eggs. And you can use flax eggs in this recipe. Just make sure you really wait 10 to 15 minutes for those flax eggs to really gel up so that your bread holds together well. So then we're going to whisk together all of our wet ingredients until it is nice and smooth. And this is great because it's definitely a 1 bowl pumpkin bread. It comes together super quick, and I love that it's festive but also really great for you. For the dry, I'm adding in some arrowroot flour, but you can also use tapioca in place of this. Some coconut sugar for sweetness because it's an unrefined sugar. Some almond flour, as well as a pinch of Himalayan salt. And so then all you're going to do is fold in the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. And this combo is really good because it makes the pumpkin bread super moist and satisfying. And I find with paleo baking, the best thing to do is to use a combo of flours, such as the almond flour and the tapioca flour. It really helps to work well together and give it more of a feel that it's not like a paleo flour, more of a regular flour. So just mix that together until everything is nice and combined. And then I'm going to be adding in some baking powder. And I do this last because this is what helps it rise. And I don't want to risk over mixing the dough to combine the wet and the dry. So I always add that in last. So fold that in until it's combined. And then I'm adding in some chocolate chips. I love the Lily's brand. So if you're looking for one, that's usually my go-to. Putting some of those in there and then just gently folding those in a little bit. Then I'm going to scoop all of that out into a parchment lined loaf pan. I just find parchment paper really good for cleanup, but also it makes it easy just to pop it right out of the pan after and slice it up. But if you don't have this, just make sure that you do grease it, because the worst thing would be is if you made pumpkin bread and then it just stuck completely to the inside. So just spread that into an even layer, and then we're going to be baking that for 55 minutes. And I'm gonna leave the link for everything down in the description box for the measurements and everything, so don't worry. Just head on over there for the complete full recipe. And then just for aesthetic purposes, I'm topping it with a little bit of chocolate chips on the top. And then once you allow it to cool, when it's done baking, you have this wonderfully delicious, moist pumpkin bread. I like to slice it up so it's already ready to go, and I pop it in the freezer for anything I'm not eating within the next couple days. That way it stays really fresh. One of my secrets is to not store things in the fridge, because the fridge will really dry out your baked goods. So if you're not eating it within the next couple days, freeze the rest, and that way it stays moist and delicious. And as you guys see, you have the wonderful chunks of the chocolate chips, the wonderful pumpkin flavor. This goes really well with a cup of coffee for a snack in the afternoon, or for a weekend or weekday breakfast. But this is definitely going to be a fall staple. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. You need to make this pumpkin bread. It's going to be a staple this fall. It's so delicious. So make sure you share your creations with me, because I love seeing what you guys make and how much you love these recipes. It really makes my day. So if you haven't yet, also make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future recipes. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.